American farmers are losing more of the global grain trade every year as farming becomes more competitive internationally, and it's forcing many of them out of business. This headline caught our attention. The next American farm bust is upon us. The Wall Street Journal reporting this. Across the heartland, a multi-year slump in prices for corn, wheat, and other farm commodities brought on by a glut of grain worldwide is pushing many farmers further into debt. Some are shutting down, raising concerns that the next few years could bring the biggest wave of farm closures since the 1980s. I'm joined by Jesse Newman, agriculture reporter for the Wall Street Journal. Is the rest of the world getting that much better in its farming techniques? Is it exchange rates? What's causing the problem?
Hi, John. Thanks for having me. It's all of the above. This is a difficult period for many American farmers. The U.S. Department of Agriculture earlier this month projected that farmers would see their incomes decline this year for the fourth straight year. As you mentioned, there is an oversupply of grain in the world. We saw incredible demand over the past decade, and farmers across the world responded. They brought nearly 180 million more acres into production, and U.S. farmers have ever more increasing competition to deal with as a result. We can't rely on foreign importers to soak up every last kernel the way that we used to, because more countries are producing more food for export.
I have relatives who farm in Nebraska. It wasn't that long ago, or so it seems. I guess we're talking 10 years ago or so, that corn prices were at a record high and things were looking very good on the family farm. What happened?
That's absolutely right, and that is one of the upsides. We are coming off a period of record profitability as recently as 2013. So when we talk about this four-year decline in incomes, just to put it in perspective, the USDA is projecting that we'll see about a 50% drop in farm incomes since 2013. So imagine that, your income being, slashed in half over the past couple of years. However, because things were so good for farmers for years leading up to that period, we had corn prices above $8 a bushel. Farmers, generated significant savings, and so they have been working through that. It's one of the reasons that farmers haven't taken on as much debt as they did, prior to the 1980s farm crisis. So there are a number of mitigating factors that are going to, sort of cushion the blow of these lower prices. But we are seeing increasing financial stress as prices stay low for multiple years. And another part of it is that the cost of production hasn't come down as quickly as prices have. So costs for inputs like seeds and pesticides and fertilizer, they haven't dropped as sharply as prices have, which is, squeezing profits for growers.
But the sad part about your story is the suggestion that the family farm in many places is sort of going away.
Well, so the number is declining, and this is a long-term trend that we've seen over the past decades. And the number that really stands out is that if this trend continues, we could see under 2 million farms in the U.S. for the first time since the mid-1800s, essentially since pioneers pushed west after the Louisiana Purchase. So we are seeing numbers decline. However, these farms aren't going away. We are going to see bigger, fewer farms, so they will be consolidated. You will have fewer producers that are raising crops for our food supply.
The same thing happening in farming that's happening in other sectors of the economy. Jesse Newman, who covers farming for the Wall Street Journal, thank you.